Welcome to you as we come to Experience 28 of this series, Living Purposefully into Your Very Own Story. And Experience 28 is yet another way in which our very own interweaving stories rub shoulders with mystery as we're invited to grow into inner freeing and harmony. And here is our summary. The line that's heavier with arrows at each end is what we're dealing with in this third series, Experiences 21 to 30. It's about enabling the dialogue to happen that the mystery of life is inviting us to through our inner invitations. And look at discomfort, small and got a goldy flavour this time. So the discomfort is decreasing and the sense of freeing is increasing. And now we're down to the last two steps of what I call an epic journeying cycle. They happen at the same time. While we're leaving something behind, something new is coming to birth. And we can be aware of the something new coming to birth in a way at this stage that we can't when we're at the some level of struggles, especially at the beginning of the struggle time. And here are our metaphors about stages of awareness. Epic journeying cycles invite us to come to our best selves. Staying with a call onwards has fear as well as gold. And as we're at this stage of an epic journeying cycle, steps 5 and 6, the gold, the rewards, the feeling of a sense of harmony and freeing become more obvious if we're in a stage of awareness. And so here's our summary of an epic journeying cycle so far. As we move into a call onwards, triggered by a sense of discomfort, and have begun a new epic journeying cycle, a new sensory memory pathway strengthens. In coping with the inner struggles of a new sensory memory pathway strengthening, we embrace inner and outer help and experience a growing sense of inner freeing and harmony. So, Experience 28 is about letting go of the old pattern and embracing more the rewards of the new pattern. I'm leaving you a little time to be with this image. Still a lily, but there are fronds flying around. There's gold around. Some things have come together. And I'm inviting you to let the image speak to you of something of your present life experience. Noel Davis has been a wonderful supply of wisdom about these different stages of our life's journeying. And for this poem, called Taking Each Other Beyond What We Alone See, I have used extracts. Taking each other beyond what we alone see to places we have never been. Finding a way through the impasses, growing in trust and self-confidence, and the audacity to explore another way. Doesn't that actually describe very well what happens in us and the bigger picture as we have been moving through the epic journeying cycle so far? And then he adds another bit. Bring into the light our unlived selves, grow us into the fullness of ourselves, and expand the frontiers of our freedom to choose. And that's really what this Experience 28 is about. Exercising our ability to choose in a way that we experience something of our true selves that we haven't known, that we feel a fullness that we haven't known, and that we feel a freedom beyond where we've been before. And so I will read the poem from beginning to end with a pause in between the two sections. Taking each other beyond what we alone see. Taking each other beyond what we alone see to places we have never been. Finding a way through the impasses, growing in trust and self-confidence, and the audacity to explore another way. Bring into the light our unlived selves, grow us into the fullness of ourselves, and expand the frontiers of our freedom to choose. So, what you could expect in these last stages of an epic journeying cycle. There's much less struggle in letting the old pattern go. And I give you a warning note. The old pattern will get triggered in a pull-down way now and again until the day we die. These triggerings offer a further phase of healing for the pool of pain which underpins the overdrive element in the old pattern. And I'm adding a note about my experience and the experience of others that have been shared with me. There are ever so many times when people say to me, "I thought I dealt with this," and I can hear their frustration, or I've felt my own. But the reality is that it's come up again is an invitation to me to accept another level of healing. So when an old pattern turns up again with more or less strength, welcome it as a stage of healing. And then the third point I make here is a way you could help that on. We now have new tools and strategies to keep the old pattern at imbalance level. That is, we can allow the gifting in the old pattern to be expressed and appreciated. And what we're doing is just bringing balance to the overdrive element of the old pattern. So I've here got a list of strategies that will help you to reap the rewards of a new pattern. In the evening, in observer self mode, let the day pan past as an inner video. Stay with moments when the new pattern was at operative. Let the reward, good feelings of the new pattern reveal themselves in your body, or image or pose or colour or strength or any other way that it presents itself to you. And fix that in your sensory memory. And the fourth point, begin the next day soaking your whole being in this inner experience of reward and good feeling. Now this practice sets your inner climate for the day and prepares the inner environment for deepening awareness. And I'm continuing the strategies. If, in panning through the day, you notice a time when the old pattern took over your response, instead of judging yourself and or feeling that you are going backwards, take up at this later time the following active imagination strategy. Go back into the experience. Pick the moment when the old pattern trigger kicked in. Then, inside your sensory system, move to the energy centre of your new pattern. And then, in imagination, respond to whatever the circumstance was from this new stance. The new sensory pattern becomes even stronger when we follow this active imagination strategy. And as well as that, it helps to reduce the stress, because responding to an emergence of your old pattern from your new pattern energy is much more in balance. I'm inviting you now to spend a little time recalling a time when you realised a new pattern is a much richer experience than an old pattern, and we do get there. And perhaps you might name what is reward in the new pattern and what is left behind in the old pattern. And so, this stage of the epic journeying cycle is about standing firmly in your chosen inner ground. And again, it's a list of feelings. And when you feel that you have a need or an inner invitation to stand firmly in your chosen inner ground, even though it was relatively new, this list of words, if you follow the strategy as you're invited to, will enhance that feeling that you have of standing firmly in your own ground. And so, I invite you to breathe in deeply. Sense the air circulating through your body. Breathe out slowly. And do this a few times until you have an inner space. And in this inner space, release the question, what would I like more of? And again, allow one of these phrases to reveal itself as having more energy than the others. I have a voice to do for me. Gentle and receptive power. Direct and straightforward. Effortless confidence. Courageous and heroic. Steadfast and strong. Serve myself kindly. Inner solidity. Large-hearted. Sturdy and strong, owning my own power, assertive presence, holding my ground, grounded and warm. And if one of those has not got more energy than the others, perhaps one of these two will be the one that you can go forward with. I have a voice to do for me. Serve myself kindly. And when you're ready, armed with one of these phrases, allow the phrase to come to body movement. And as your body movement takes on, that the phrase and the body movement become one. And in this oneness of the movement and the word, exaggerate the feelings. Exaggerate them. using all the space, high and low and wide and short. Experience this phrase and the pose being one. And when you're ready, come to a pose that encapsulates what the experience was for you of allowing this phrase and movement to become one. And again, when you feel like you're needing to stand in your own truth or to stand in the chosen inner ground of your new pattern, you could begin your days with this phrase and pose. And when you feel like you need more courage to stand firmly in your own inner ground, you might come back to this list and find another phrase and pose which is your emotional intelligence giving you the invitation for that situation. So, experience 21 was of opening to becoming more aware of who I am in my skin. Experience 22 was of recognising inner invitations to embrace a call onwards. Experience 23 was of knowing when to move into action. Experience 24 is of struggles along the way when embracing a call onwards. Experience 25 is about expanding feelings which emerge as a new pattern is welcomed. Experience 26 is of becoming aware of a beginning sense of freeing and harmony. 27 is about noticing push-pull energy. And experience 28 is of embracing more the rewards of the new pattern. Experience 29 is about reaping the reward of embracing a new pattern or embracing that initial call onwards. Thank you so much for being a part of Experience 28. In this series, experience living purposefully into your very own story.